No, pioneers, this is mjkk613.14. Unofficial pi, through my eyes, the way I see it. Also a mod in English chats, mjkk61. Right now, today, what I want to put on this video is value and price. You hear it all the time. People first coming into chat, what's pi value, what's pi price, what's pi supply, what's this, okay, what do we think it'll be, okay. If you're looking to just make money and sell pi to make other currency, to turn it into other currency, you are looking for price. Exchange is not value. Exchange is price. They set a trading price that they think people will buy and sell, and again, it's like, if you understand the stock market, you can understand the crypto exchanges. Same thing. Okay. When a crypto is trading on the exchanges, which most of them do, or all of them do, it's trading volume. It's speculating a price that somebody will buy at or sell at, and when we trade it, if we're buying, we're expecting the price to go up and somebody to buy it at a higher price. If it's on the way down, we're looking to buy to get the higher price. Okay, but the people that trade crypto and have made money at crypto and are experts at crypto can make money on a currency raising and declining. I don't know how they do it, and it's not a game I know the game, but it's not a game I want to get into. So, if you're coming in looking for price on the exchange, or you're coming in looking for pi to list on the exchange, you're coming into pi without knowing pi or understanding what pi is. You might understand the space, and you might understand how crypto trades, but you're not understanding pi. Yeah, even for the crypto traders that are coming in expecting pi, you're missing pi. You're missing what pi is. Okay? Because value is buying power. What we can buy, or how much pi we have to use to buy something. That's value. That's value. And because, this happened since Core's launched pi as a developing project. It's happened right from the very beginning. That because of the mindset, the mentality, and how crypto trades, that it's assumed that coming into pi is going to do the same thing. And it's not. And it hasn't from the beginning. And, people say it can only do this, it can only do that, no, it's not. It's not. And all of these videos that are currently coming out about pi are unofficial. They are unofficial. And the information that they're putting out is misleading, incorrect, false, bad information, because you got to read the white paper. Everything that pi is in the white paper. It is. And we have to get out of that trading on the exchanges to be worth anything for pi. Okay? Because I watch people coming in now and listening to the speculators. Okay? One, they have no official numbers to speculate on, so they're speculating on thin air. They're pulling numbers from somewhere, putting them in their computers, and coming out with some other number. Well, it's in the chart. It's in the chart. If there are no official numbers, nobody knows what total supply is. Nobody knows what circulating supply is. So how can you speculate on something you don't know? And any futures market, if you're involved in any futures market, I'd be careful. Because Core has already stated a number of times, Pi has no futures trading right now. There is no futures market for Pi. So, if you're in a futures market and you've been trading Pi for currency, or getting Pi for currency, whatever it is on the futures market, see you. You won't be here at the end of day 3. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. Bottom line. So, but with that mentality of it's all got to trade on the exchanges, I mean, I've heard the exchanges have price of Pi as low as a penny, and I mean, I'm starting to hear some better numbers, and it's coming up to like, I think the highest I heard was like $4, but the exchanges are looking, the people that are looking to force Pi onto the exchanges are crypto traders. They are pump and dump mindset. Oh, that's all crypto does is pump and dump. That's all it does is pump and dump. It was come before Pi, yes. Pi, no, it's not. Pi is not a pump and dump coin. Cryptocurrency, digital currency, it's not a pump and dump model. It's not set up on a pump and dump model. So, if you're looking for Pi to be a pump and dump, and you're strategizing and figuring out how you position yourself so when Pi launches, you'll be able to trade on the exchanges and do what you want to do, and you can. Now, see, I have a couple of in that scheme. I don't care what crypto it is. In that scheme, any new project, whatever it is, the pump and dump, the ones that know and how to play game and all that other stuff, are looking to take advantage of the ones that are looking to sell at whatever opening price is. Because if you're looking to buy and hold, okay, you know what the value will be in time, over time. If you're looking to sell because you need fast cash or whatever, you're throwing money away. You are. You're not even throwing it. You're giving it away. You're giving it to somebody. You're giving your money to somebody else. Yeah, because I understand the mindset. I understand $1 goes a long way, or $2 goes a long way, or goes a long way. But if you're giving up X amount for $1, if waited until the price came up, you would have made money. You'd have more to spend now. I mean, that's just education and understanding what's going on. But that's a whole separate deal. Okay, that's not Pi. Pi is looking to be a currency, a true, usable, tradable currency to buy goods and services. That's Pi's goal. And until we realize it, and people are starting to wake up and starting to understand and starting to see what Pi is. If you're coming in, and all you're looking to do is sell, I mean, some of these people are coming in from day one that don't have what, 10 Pi, 20 Pi, 15 Pi maybe. You may not even, if it were to go that way, you may not even have enough to trade on the exchange. Exchanges, good exchange. Now, this is also two thoughts. There are a whole range of exchanges. You have your top exchanges, all the way down to your sleazy lower exchanges. I call them sleazy because there's nothing regulated. There's no guarantee anything can happen. If you trade on them, there's no guarantee that you're going to walk away with your either coin or your cash or whatever. I wouldn't trust the lower exchanges because they're not overseen by anything. If somebody pops up and pops some program up, they're not regulated, they're not licensed, they're not, okay? So, for me personally, I would only trade on the top exchanges, yes. And because they're licensed, they're regulated, they're audited, and they're overseen by an outside regulating body. Okay? That's for my security, our security. That gives us some layer of protection, knowing going in and trading on that exchange. And if an exchange doesn't ask for KYC, I probably wouldn't trade on it. Me personally, I wouldn't. KYC is not a big deal. It's really not. In this day and age, if you think you're hiding your identity and your whatever it is, and okay, it's already out there. Your information is already out there. Now, what a company does with it, like if I go into an exchange and I give them all my information on KYC and whatever, what they do with that information afterwards, that's an issue. But any reputable company, even if they do minimal, they have to go by minimal guidelines on what they do with that information. KYC is not a big deal. Okay? And in Pi, I'm going to put it, okay. Anybody worrying about KYC or can't, okay, don't worry about KYC. Now, you don't need to. You don't need to. Core's already put out. If you stay one person, one account, one mobile device, basically that's a legit Pi account. One person, one account, one mobile device. Yes, in the white paper it says verified by phone, and then Facebook was added, but the white paper wasn't added, updated to it. Okay. Well, if you're in Pi now and you're mining, and you have a wallet, well, whatever phone number you're using or whatever phone, it's there. That's how we're identified on the blockchain. That's how we're identified in our wallets. So that number is already there. Now, if you use a different number, wrong number, need to change the number or whatever it is, we can't do that right now. We should as Pi develops more and whatever, yeah, we should have the opportunity to change the numbers, and okay, we will get there. But because there's so many bad actors and so many fake accounts and so many bot accounts and so many, no, Core doesn't. If Core allowed everybody to change their number now, then all these other accounts that have been created that shouldn't be created would probably get through to the other side. That's why, as long as you stay, if you're human, one person, one account, one device, don't worry. You will get through. Core's already stated, no human legit Pi account will be lost or left behind. So don't worry about it. Core, I know everybody's wanting KYC and wanting to see what Core has and wanting to do. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. That's Core's deal. And if we all have to be KYC'd to claim our accounts at phase 3 or whenever they're going to start paying them out, they have it figured out. We don't have to do their job. They already have their job done, or they know what and how they want to do their part of the job. They're doing it, and extra. Okay, we don't need to worry about KYC. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Now, if you're outside of being human, and one person, one account, one device, if you're outside of that, see you, because you won't be here on the other side. You won't have your account on it. You won't have all the Pi you thought you had earned through all the other methods that you did to try to. You won't be here on the other side. That's also another reason why changing phone numbers. I mean, if all these bad actors can change phone numbers and do whatever, tracking them down, flagging their accounts, doing all that, it's going to make it harder. Okay. Once all of that's cleaned up and we're like into phase 3 or going into phase 3, and we get rid of all of that, then things will change. We should be able to change passwords, change phone numbers, change username. Okay. But if it happens before, then Pi Core run the risk of letting multiple accounts. I've heard. I don't know. I haven't heard. It's not fact because I can't back it up. It's just the people that I got the information from. Usually the information is good. I mean, it's reliable information, reliable sources. We have, I think, Core put out 18 plus million people, active pioneers. Okay. Well, that's what Core has put out. An active miner is a pioneer that did 3 consecutive sessions, is what Core uses as an active pioneer. Okay. I don't know how conservative their number is or how. Okay. We won't know that until we get to phase 3. But out of those, say 18.5 million or 18 plus million accounts, there are, I've heard a real high number. I don't know whether that number is true, but I would say there's probably at least between 100 and 150,000, or 100 and 100 or 150 million bad accounts. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. Okay. And now see, here's one throw to speculate. Okay, you're only taking into account what, and I know because pi hasn't become real yet. It's on account. It is real pi. It's on account. We just haven't claimed it, and it hasn't become. In phase 3, it goes live to the public, and that's when everything becomes real. Okay. Well, here's the speculator. Well, they're speculating on this, 18 and whatever it is, whatever they're figuring their numbers out, they don't know anyway. Well, if you actually look at what the emulators produced with the accounts that are bad, the emulators, man, there's a lot out there. Okay? There's a lot because there's a lot of bad accounts. Well, if all those get wiped out, at the start of phase 3, then we get back down to true pi count, true pioneer count, true official. Okay, I mean, going through phase 3, say we go, they officially down to 20 million or whatever. We could go down to, who knows, 15 million, 17 million. Okay? We won't know that until we get to phase 3. So all of that plays in, all of this, and the exchanges. If you're worried about the exchanges, your focus and your strategy, your concern, your okay, is in the wrong area. I mean, I hear people come in wasting, pi's a waste of time, pi's a waste of this, pi's a waste of that. Well, if you're focusing on the exchanges and that's all you're focusing on, you are wasting time. You're wasting your time. And posting in chat and saying this and saying that, okay, yes, you are wasting everybody else's time. Yeah. Especially the mods. Because mods are there to help keep the rooms running smooth, sometimes I feel more like a babysitter than I do a mod doing my, because there are times when people come in and they're adults and they're acting worse than a 10-year-old. Okay? Pi is a family project. So when you come in to the chat rooms, respect the chat rooms. You don't know who's in there. There are kids from 13 years old to old people, 60, 70, 80 years old. I think one I heard was like 70 something, 75, 79. Okay? There's a whole range of people in there. And they come from, Pi is represented in 236 countries around the world. We all have different respect levels, different respect. We all have different cultures. We all see things different, I may not see something, somebody says something, I may not see it as bad or offensive or anything like that. But in some other country, that could be bad. So you need to grow up, man. If you want to play on it, like you want to play in the dark web because that's crypto and that's whatever it is, then go down there and play. You do whatever you want. Pi is not that. Pi is not a run wild, run loose playground. It's not. Okay? And yes, everybody's opinion should be heard and respected. But where I'm drawing a line or having an issue now, okay. Pi is Pi. The Pi chats are Pi topic. The only room you can talk off topic is random chat. The other ones are Pi topic chat. When people come in and start talking about what they know and when they start projecting what they know into Pi and haven't read anything about Pi or learned anything about Pi, no, that's not right. No, it's not, because you're not talking about Pi. You're talking about what you think you know about Pi. And if you're talking exchanges and you're setting up the pump and dump, you're not talking pi at all. You're not even in the ballpark, man. You're not in the ballpark. Because pi is not going that direction. It never has. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that somewhere down the road, pi won't be trading on those exchanges. It will. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But pi doesn't have to. Look at that. Right now, the exchanges dictate to us what it is, because they put it into the models that are used today, that are taught, that were designed, being taught, working, passing down, whatever. Okay. All of those models came from the people that created that system. And we don't have a choice but to use that system. Granted, I understand learning the system, learning how to work it, okay, and getting into it and doing to make what you can out of it. I understand. But that's also a hindrance for people coming into pi, because they come in believing what they've learned, and I'm not down on anybody that has put the time in to learn that system and work that system and make money at that system and whatever at that system. But when and it doesn't matter whether it's in pi, out of pi, whatever, when you're coming across like you know what you're talking about pi, and that's what all of these unofficial videos are doing, that are getting people hyped up and buying in, okay, and coming in, yeah, one giving you, well, I heard it here, okay, it's all misleading, bad information. And when you come across, just like these videos, you come into a room or you go into social media and you start posting, and you see, people that know what they're talking about sound different. When they know the material, they're confident about the material, they come across like they know the material, and they know the material. Okay? Well, because crypto, you come into pi and you start talking that, and people are starting to listen to you. You're misleading them. You're misleading them. And yes, if you're going to be misled, but what I've seen in pi since I've been here and come to understand stuff, you just got to wake up and stop following. And just stop following. Okay? Right now I got a lot of thoughts going on because of this situation that we're talking between exchanges and value. Because in the time that I've been here, it's been over 2 years, Core has taken so much stuff. Nobody trusts them. They don't know what they're doing. They don't do this. They're not doing that. They should be doing this. And they should be doing that. Okay. I did a video last night yesterday about where pi's at, what it is. Okay. Well, what it is people are coming in and there are a lot of smart people, a lot of intelligent people, a lot of savvy people, a lot of they know the gamut. They know blockchain, they know programming, they know marketing, they know economy, they know. They're professionals. Some have gone to school, some haven't, but they know. They know this. They know how it works, and they know how to. Okay, they know. They're already here. They've been here for a long time. But what's happened is, I don't know. It may just be the time and the age that we live in, that ego, greed, superiority, whatever. We have to be the center of attention. That's what I see it comes down to. I'm not saying everybody, because some people understand, okay, but most people I see coming in that want to want to, or demanding, or telling it should, or telling it, okay? Because you want to run the show. You want people to listen to you. You want to know and be the expert and be the above all. Okay? You're not. You're not. Because if you were, you don't have to boast it. You don't have to tell everybody what it is. People know. They know. But with the way things are today, when you put out what you're putting out about crypto, yeah, it's easy to see. Because you go to any exchange, you go to any market, you go to any website, or okay. What you're saying is supported on a massive scale. Yeah. And I understand. I mean, I understand. I say something about pi that is true about pi, you probably won't believe. There are some that will pick it up and start to understand and start to research and do their own thing and understand that what I'm putting out is correct. But there is a majority of, because what I'm putting out, it goes against what you're seeing and what you're putting out, and what you don't have to support. They can just, it isn't hard to support. They just go online. I mean, go on YouTube and punch in cryptocurrency, and everything you're saying is backed up, supported. It's not hard. It's not hard to believe that side. Okay. Well, read the white paper, research the white paper, see what it says, break it down, do what you got to do, and it's not what you're talking about from out here. It's 180 degrees out, man, and that's where the issue comes in on this side, because pi, you have to truly see pi, you have to come in as a blank slate. You have to, everything that you've learned, you have to put it on a shelf for a bit and come in blank, nothing. You come in like you know nothing. I'm not saying put your intelligence away, but just clear out all of the garbage. Yes, I'm gonna call it garbage because it's just okay. Clear all that to where you're coming in as a blank slate. It doesn't. If you're already that smart, it isn't going to take long for you to see or pick up what's going on. Okay. Start with the white paper. Start that. That is where, and everything is in there. Everything that is being said is in there. Okay. Then you have the FAQ, and you have the mod FAQ that goes into a little more detail because we've taken time, broken down. Core's taken time, broken down. You start in the white paper, and because of so much garbage that has gone on around crypto, I mean, crypto has a bad name. I mean, it has scams. The creators of the project are thugs or bad guys, or they're just here to steal our money or our data or whatever and get rich and da. Okay, that's it's a justified preconceived expectation or notion coming into a project. I would be leery of it too. I was when I got here. I was when I joined a couple other projects. Well, if you don't do your own research into who the creators are and who's doing this or whatever, you will be under that impression all the time. Yeah. And if you're part of another project or whatever, and you've been heavy in that and whatever it is, you come in filtered with you come in filtered from that experience, from that whatever. And if you're still involved with it, that's going to be okay. You got to let that go for a bit. You can be involved in as many projects you want. You can work on as many blockchains as you want, but you have to treat each one separate. You have to treat each one separate. Okay, so getting out of that mindset of the pumping it. Nobody believes what's being said from this side. Okay? And in the roadmap, somewhere in the roadmap down towards the end, I think, when it says when Pi goes live, it says there's two ways to earn money from Pi once Pi is live. Using it as a means of exchange to trade for goods and services, or if there's any listing exchanges, Pi can be linked to those exchanges. Man, you need to listen to what the wording is. If an exchange chooses to list Pi, then Pi can be linked to that exchange. Well, what that tells me, and it's been stated over and over and over again, and to tell me it's not true that that's not how it works, no, you need to go look at the top exchanges. You need to look at the top exchanges. I don't care what's on the bottom. You can take a 20-minute token and slap it on some exchange on the bottom. I'm not talking about those exchanges. That definitely isn't where Pi wants to list, because Pi is not that coin. Pi is not a 20-minute off of some other blockchain coin. And there are a lot out there. Man, if you know programming and you know crypto, you can create your own coin in 20 minutes and have it out to the public in 20 minutes. Okay? Yes. That's not Pi. So, that's why I say, if Pi's going to list and going to trade, it needs to trade on a top exchange. There is no guarantee that some guy, some programmer somewhere came up and made up an exchange with it and is trading in whatever it is. Trade at your own risk is what it is. Now you're talking scams and people cutting whatever it is. Okay? There's no guarantee and there's no safeguards in those places. Okay? So, to get listed on a top exchange, and for a top exchange to look at anything, all right. Two ways to get on the exchange. There's only two ways you can get on the exchange. I mean, there are three if out of the goodness there are. The first way is to run an IEO, an initial coin offering. Okay? These other cryptos, they've done their development. The blockchain is up. Everything is running, whatever it is. Then I think here's what part of the confusion is. When these new crypto projects, do their initial coin offering, is when the project goes live to the overall public. And people in Pi are missing that we're not there yet. We're still in testnet, phase 2, beta, running off of an emulator. The protocol is not even generating or creating its own coins yet. It's running off of an emulator. It's being developed. Okay? Yeah. So there's no, even though, and I understand, Pi is big, 236 countries, 18 plus million people. If I were to come in today and look at it, I would expect it to be live. But when I come into it today, I don't see anything. There's nothing to take it live. And that may be part of why leaning towards the exchanges. Very well could be. Because there's nothing going on or Pi being used and what. But in a small portion it is. Okay. So the first way to get on the exchange is run an initial coin offering. Well, these developers and creators have created their project, got it all ready to go. Yeah, there might be a little this, a little that, whatever. But it's a product. They can sell this product. Okay? That's all I need. They're products. They're products that are being sold to the public. Okay? So the creators have their project ready to go to the public. They do what they got to do, and they line up initial coin offerings and whatever, and they put out advertisements and dates, and they already have. They know what their supply is, and they know what this is how much they're going to put out there. They know all that. And they do all of the advertising and all the stuff. And the day the initial coin offering starts is when that project is live to the public. Once it's being sold off of that exchange, the exchange can trade it. Because the creators have put in enough coin and enough cash, or they're going to get cash. Then you're selling the coin to get cash. Part of the cash that's coming in will stay in the exchange. They will take out of that initial coin offering. They will take enough cash from that initial coin offering, put it on account to cover the liquidity needed for that coin on that exchange. Yeah. No reputable exchange will exchange cryptocurrency without a pool of liquidity to cover what on their exchange, the amount of coins that are on their exchange. They have enough liquidity to cover those coins. They won't trade without it. Because if something were to happen, a disaster happened, and it collapsed, and people went in looking for their money, which they are regulated, they are licensed, they are regulated, audited and overseen, they have to have the cash to cover those coins. I don't know. I have no clue what I'm talking about. None. Research it. Okay? Research it. And then tell me who doesn't know what. Okay? So, once the initial coin offering is done, the cash is coming in, whatever coins they sold is their circulating supply. The exchange has a pool of that token or currency or coin, whatever, has it. Okay? They have enough liquidity to cover it. The rest of the cash goes back to the creators of the project to help fund and continue growth on their project. Yeah. That's usually the way most cryptos go, is through an initial coin offering, because they don't have to come up with any extra cash. They don't have to come up with the cash because they're going to generate the cash. Okay. So once the exchange starts selling it, then the trading volume starts from there. Okay. That's how they got it started going. By selling the coin, they started the coin moving. Okay. Then to trade on the exchange, just like trading on the stock exchange. Okay. It isn't like going into a bank. You can't go into an exchange and expect it to be like a bank. It's not going to. No. You have to put in buy and sell orders and books, basically. You have to put in buy and sell orders. You want to sell at a current price? Yes, you can go in and you can put in an order, put your coins up, do whatever, and sell it at a current price. But it's not going to happen right now. It's not like you're going to go, all right, I need to sell X amount of coins, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to sell X amount of coins. They're going to sell it. They're going to give me the cash. It doesn't work that way. Never has. Never will. You have your coins on the exchange, and you want to sell some, and you put in your sell order. You want to sell at this price. Then it goes down to some runner, some trader, whatever. Well, if there's a buyer, if there's somebody buying on the other side, then those coins can get sold. If there's no buyer on the other side, or there's no buyer looking to buy at the price that you have set, it won't be bought. So the transaction won't happen. You won't get your money out of your coin. That's how. So when you're looking to trade a crypto for some other currency, I would give it about 2-3 days, easy. At least 24 to 48 hours before when that transaction happens and you have the cash in whatever you have hooked to it. Okay. There will be no PayPal, no bank account, no anything to do with cash at this point in time will not be hooked to Pi. No, because there is no money in Pi. Pi is the money. You can't sell Pi inside of Pi and get cash and put it on PayPal and do whatever. If it's going to sell, and it's got to go through an exchange. Okay? So, bank accounts, PayPal, another one. Whatever you're using as a financial instrument to move whatever digital around won't be linked to Pi. Not this one. Okay? So, no, of course they They are not running an initial coin offering. They stated that from day one. Since I've been here, I can only go by what I got here. But I imagine it didn't change much before I got here. I was here before 100,000. So, no initial coin offering. They are not planning one. They're not even looking at one. They're not even thinking about one because they already know they're not doing one. Well, if they know they're not doing one, we know they're not doing one, why are we expecting one? Makes no sense, man. Because if you're caught up in today, you're expecting one. Core's not caught up in today. They're not planning one. Well, that should be the first clue that Pi going the direction of the exchanges isn't the right direction. Man, you know, and I don't want to burst out. But I was talking to some friends. I was talking to some friends the last couple of days over some different issues, or whatever. And we got talking about exchanges, and I mean, we have different views on the exchange and how things going on. And we were talking about Pi, just the overall mentality, community, view, expectation, okay? And we have some issues, but we're pretty close on the same page. She made a comment that her 12-year-old daughter can see what's going on. Yeah. And talking to her, I mean, I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but no, I could probably talk to her daughter and have a better conversation than I can have with most people in Pi, because she sees Pi, she understands it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to come in because she's not tainted by the outside world. She's not tainted by having to trade on the exchange. She's not tainted by all of the other influence that influence us today. She doesn't have all of the filters that are in the way to be able to see stuff. But out of the eyes and mouth of the babes, man. Because she's okay. And it just blew me away. I mean, and I don't have a doubt in my mind when that comment was made. I don't have a doubt in my mind that little gal knows Pi better than most of you. Yes, not a doubt in my mind. Okay. Now take that one and think about it. 12-year-old sees more than what the majority of the community sees. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. If we know Core is not planning an IEO or an initial coin, it's not in the works, it's not written anywhere, and they put out they're not doing it. Well, say, if they're not doing it, well, then how is it going to get to the exchange? Or the exchange is going to listen because the community decides it is, and they're going to, BS. Exchanges are in it to make money. Exchanges are in it they're not in it to help any crypto coming up. They don't care about the crypto coming up. They don't care. They care if it's able to be listed, if it has backing behind it, and if it will trade. There's no guarantee in putting crypto on the exchange that it's going to trade or if it's going to last real long. There are no guarantees. Okay? So, no initial coin offering. Didn't get on that way. The only other way that you can get on a top exchange is to file, I don't know what the exact wording is, file a petition to get listed on the exchange. They give you a packet, okay, that the core team or whoever is taking care of their legal or whatever it is fills out this packet. And it has whatever the project is and whatever it is, and all the official numbers and all the stuff, everything you need legally to be able to list a new cryptocurrency on this exchange is in this packet. Okay? Financial records, I mean, it's because basically they're issuing. I don't want to say license, but they're kind of listed. I see it as kind of obtaining a license. I work at a group home, so how I relate it is, the owner of the group home has to jump through all of these hoops to go through the regulating body, and once they've overseen it, looked at it, whatever it is, then they'll issue his license for the house. And his license for the house is just for that house. Okay? It's kind of the same thing when you fill this packet. You have to jump through all the hoops and whatever it is, and then you give the packet to the exchange, and they have their board that looks through it and does it and whatever. And if there's any mistakes or anything, it'll kick it back out and it'll cost you more time. If they'll take it back, I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the process. I understand the process, but okay, you get the package, you fill it out, you take it back. It goes through their committee, their approval committee, and they look through it and whatever it is. And if they approve it, then they send it up to their whoever issued their license, their regulating body. They send the application up. The regulating body looks over the application. And then if they approve it, it comes back down and it comes back to the creators of the project. Okay. Now, once it's approved, the creators of the project, they put coin on the exchange to be able to move it and start trading. I mean, they take a pile of coin, they put it on, and then, I mean, it's probably a huge pile that they put on that is in somewhere in the exchange. The exchange has a vault of coins. On top of the vault of coins, the core team of the project has to have enough liquidity to take to the exchange and put on account or in account to the liquidity enough to cover the vault of coins. That's the only other way you can get on the exchange. Now, because they chose that route, okay, how do you get that coin moving? How do you get it moving? The creators developed the project. They didn't develop community. They developed the project, went to now. In that respect, they may have a little bit of a community because if the coin is trading within the community and you have to use the exchange, you can get it going, but it's a slow process. Okay. Unless you do a big advertising spread and you put it out that, hey, we have this coin in here for sale, and this, okay. Unless people know what the project is, what's going on, whatever. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna rush out and go get that coin because it's on the exchange rate. I don't even know what the project is. I didn't even know the project was coming up. That would be part of an issue going that route. Unless you had massive advertising, massive reach, massive whatever, that you could get that coin trading on it, get it started trading on the exchange. Okay. And once a crypto is listed on the exchange and it's trading, if for whatever reason, say it went through all this pump and dump and everybody made their money and they really don't care about the coin anymore, once the volume of trading gets to a certain point, they will delist that coin. They will delist it. And if a crypto gets delisted off of an exchange, may as well call it dead, because it will never get back onto an exchange. It would take. You may as well start over, come up with create a new thing, and then try to go back on it. Exchange won't, from what I understand, exchanges normally won't once they delist a coin, they won't relist it. It's a done deal, because they're in it to make money, and they don't want dead coins on their exchange. They don't want it. If they're not moving, they're taking up space. They're in it for the money. I mean, they're in it for that. That's what exchanges are. Okay, so I know I'm going long again. If we know Core's not doing tonight an initial coin offering, they've already said it, they're not looking to take and put. They're not looking to take and put their cash, their capital, their whatever, and put it on account in an exchange to cover the liquidity of the coin, of Pi. Okay. And if that doesn't show you right there that that's not the direction Pi is going in, you're in the wrong coin, man. You are in the wrong project. And you're not helping the project. by being stuck on the exchange. You're actually hurting it. You're hurting it. You're putting roadblocks up at every step of the way. You're putting roadblocks up because we have to get through you or over you or around you. Because you're not hearing that that's not the direction Pi's going. But you're diehard and you're stuck to it, and you're planted in because yes, you're going to make it. No. And I'm kind of seeing it. I'm seeing more people, and the conversations I'm having with certain people are changing and they're different, whatever it is. Okay. Pi is a round whatever. System we use today is a square whatever. Taking a round peg and putting it into a square hole, or you can call this round. This is what's round out here, and Pi's the square. No, because Pi's round. Pi are squared. Pi's round. If you're taking a square hole and trying to put a round peg in it, and it don't fit, it don't fit. And if you force it, if you start, and this is how I relate what's going on in the space and what happened to Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin was that round. It was brand new, man. It was brand new. Nobody, and that may have been part of it. Nobody, but see, I still go back to the creator of the program, the creator of that project. When it came out, people didn't see. Yes, it found an economy on the dark web. I mean, it was being used as what, even though what it was being used for wasn't up on the up and up. How it was being used was the design of Bitcoin. It couldn't. Nobody's giving it a chance. I mean, the pizza guy got laughed at for spending all the Bitcoin that he did for those pizzas. That was with something brand new or whatever. That was how the economy was going to be started. Yes, it may have taken that much to do it, to make it happen. He made it happen. And the community laughed at him. Well, he's not the only one that went through it. There were taco trucks. I live in California. There were taco trucks in California, roach coaches, whatever, that were accepting Bitcoin for tacos, burritos, and quesadillas, and whatever. Yes, there are a lot of Spanish owners of those trucks that accepted Bitcoin back in the day. Yeah, you don't hear about those. It was happening. Okay. When you're using a coin to buy something, a good or a service, that's economy. That's where value comes in. So it's not going to the exchange. So stop trying to put it. Now you're taking a round peg and putting it in a square hole. Well, when you make that round peg go into that square hole, you took it from what it was. I mean, you took it from what it was meant to be, what it was meant to do, what it should have done, and forced it into the system that's in today. Yeah, that's all. That's how this happened. And by doing that, the creator of Bitcoin, he screwed with his creation, man. That's why he booked. Okay. It's the only man. Somebody that has that amount of coin, has that much invested in a project, turn his back and walk away. Nobody does that. Not without reason, morals, or whatever. Man, I just heard on one of the investing shows or whatever. They know which wallet it is. They know how much Bitcoin is in it. They know what it's worth. And since he stepped away from the project, there's been no activity in that wallet, which tells me he's not about the money. He's not about the money. He was never about the money. When you can walk away totally walk away from billions of dollars and never look back? Because it wasn't about the money for him. It was about keeping a round peg out of a square hole. Because you didn't see what the power of that project was. Yes, it was brand new, nobody understood it, nobody wanted it to work, okay? But you forced it into a square hole. And as soon as you forced it into a square hole, the government's not even worried about it anymore. They would have been. They would have been. But once it became part of this system, they own it, they control it. No, don't even. Okay, I've totally missed the mark on that one. Yeah, they're not trying to regulate it, they're not trying to tax it, they can't shut it down, they can't do this, and it's decentralized, it's all this, and okay, you believe that. You believe that. Because it's in their system. It trades in their system. And they're going back and they're trying to back tax. But anything current, and you can't blame it on the exchange because the exchange has to turn over the transactions and doing all that other stuff. That's the system that we're in. It's no different than central banks. They're licensed and regulated. They have laws they have to follow. And over an X amount of trade, they have to report it. It's part of them keeping their license. Okay? Because you've made it part of that system. Believe it or not, you've made it. I don't care whether you believe me or not. It's part of that. It trades like that. Okay. Now we'll get back to pi. Okay. With what has just been explained, that pi is not looking to be in that system. Pi is not looking to be this round peg forced in that square hole. Man, I watched it happen the other night in chat, and luckily there was enough of us pioneers in chat, open-minded enough in chat, to me what I saw unfold that night was cool, because there were a bunch of traders and there were a bunch of newbies and everybody was all on the exchange, and they had the room. These long exchange had the room believing that way. Trying to stuff the square peg or round peg into the square hole. But there were enough senior mods, enough experienced people that knew pi, whatever, that may not have had it all. But once they realized what was going on, yeah, the one trying to fit a round peg into a square hole lost. Or because they woke up. They woke up and they went, oh, no shit, yeah, you're right. I mean, whatever their moment was, they had it. They had it. They because they were in the thick of the battle. Yeah. Oh yeah, we were going back and forth and whatever. And sometimes that's I don't know. But they woke up and they started to see. Yes. All of the stuff that we use today will be in play. Will come to it, but not right now. No. Because pi core has not designed pi or written pi to go that way. Okay? There's a reason why one person, one account, one mobile device. Okay? I don't want to get into that, the mining and all that other stuff, but for participating and contributing to that day, we get newly minted coin that day. For referral rewards, for every referral we get, we create a pool of pi that over our lifetimes we can draw pi from. So if you have an earning team of 10, 20, 30 people, you've created 30 pools of pi that will be distributed over all of your lifetimes. It's just one-on-one, man. When people talk about pyramid, they don't see what the referral rewards were for, because they didn't read the white paper to see that for each referral we create a pool of pi that is distributed over our lifetimes. Nobody reads it. It's there. It's in there. Okay? So, yes, For now, because it's running on an emulator, it's running different than it will be when Phase 3 starts. We have two projects, guys. Two different projects. We have the one that's running now that's developing, changing, doing whatever, and it can. This is where it's supposed to. Find the bugs and all this other stuff going on this side. That's one part of this project. There's two parts to it. Okay? And right now, referral rewards, or referrals, get us help. We're contributing by helping grow the network, or the community. So for that, we get an increase of X amount of Pi. Right now, it's on the hour. And that will change. That's also a part of this program and not a part of this project. Right now, we see it rolling up on the hour. It's eye candy. It's for us. Push a button, make something happen, see something happening. If people don't see it, they're going to go, well, I'm pushing a button, but there's nothing going on. What do you mean? I'm pushing a button and there's nothing going on. Well, get used. When we get to this side of the project, get used to it. Because the counter won't be there. By being a pioneer and a contributor, a 5-person security circle, that is base mining rate. That is, somehow we got to show that we're here for the day. That we were in this day doing what we were supposed to. Whether it's push a button or do whatever it is. So, the protocol knows that we were active, that we were here. Then once a day, whenever that, I don't know when that is or how that time, I don't know all that. But once a day, the mining and referral reward will be put in our wallet. Once a day, that amount of time will be put in our wallet every day. Every day. And if it's running off the protocol, it will be every day at X amount of time. If it says it's paid out at noon we'll get X amount of Pi. That's two ways. That's two incomes of Pi that we'll get. Now, people are saying about the mining stopping, it should stop it. Okay. If you're thinking supply and demand, and if you're looking at that and looking at price, shut up. You're off the mark. Don't even worry about total supply, total circulation supply. We don't have to worry about supply. It's not important to what's going on with Pi. It's not. It's important what's going on to the outside world. It's not important what's going on in Pi. It doesn't matter inside of Pi. It doesn't. Because you're looking at it from all of the economic models and all of the stuff that is being used outside of Pi. That's where part of the hang-up comes in. Because you can't fathom what's going on with Pi. You can't. Because, anybody that knows any math or any numbers or starts adding 1 and 1 and 2 and 3, okay, and looks at the amount of people and the amount that's going and the amount of, they already know the Pi supply is high. They know supply. Pi, they know overall supply of Pi is high. And I still say, at 100 million people, with 7.5 billion people in the world, Pi supply is too small. So, that also tells me that Pi is not looking to replace anything. It's looking to be an addition to. So, like people are looking at Bitcoin and whatever, and overnight they made it over. Okay. Pi is looking to be another choice that we have in currency. Usable money. Okay. It's not looking to replace the dollar or the yen or anything. Okay. It's looking to be a part of that system. In addition to. I kind of look at it because I'm at retirement age. I got a retirement check coming from what I've worked for out here. Pi is my retirement check on the digital side. That's why everything else is, all the new projects, I'm not saying they're not bad or there's an issue. Okay. I know what the benefit of Pi is. To me, all these other projects, for me, are a waste of time. They're a waste of my time. Well, how can that be? You can trade, you can do with it. No, going through all that garbage is a waste of my time. I got better things to do with my time. I do. I know, and you can think I'm crazy because I'm spending all my time here. But I believe in this payout more than I believe in that payout. The risk to reward, for me on this side, my reward is higher than my risk. On this side, playing with all these cryptos and all this new stuff and all this getting in all that crap and stuff out there. No, I've watched it go on. I've watched it go on from the beginning. I watched the greed and I watched the backstabbing and the cutthroat and all. Okay, I've watched the price manipulations on the exchanges. To me, to get involved in that game, my reward to risk, no, it's not there for me. There's too much risk, very little reward. I will end up losing more money. I will end up losing more playing in that game. Yeah. Risk is high, reward is low. So, no, that's not where. Okay. So pi. And this is where most don't see it. Okay? See, that's why, for me, I'm not worried about what I'm doing. Yes, I'm not in a position to be able to supply goods yet. I'm not. I mean, I don't. Now I'm just. Anyway, my financial situation is none of you're all's concern. It's just I'm not in a position to do what I want to do here, and I have enough pie that if I could have gotten into the pilot, I could have done my part from the pilot side. I have enough pie to help support some of these economies, but I couldn't get. Core wouldn't open it up to anybody. Nobody. I can't get in and help. And that's pissed me off since I became a mod. That I can't get in to this side and help. Yeah. Anyway, that's a different issue. Because, yes, in the 300 pine, then that's a whole different. Okay, there are at least 300 pioneers that are in an in-app transfer pilot that have the capability of actually moving real pie that Core has given them to use inside the in-app transfer. And there are economies starting. There are. And you need to be careful, you need to do research because more and more popping up. More and more that are popping up, I don't know how legitimacy there are to them. I really don't. I don't know whether it's the in-app transfer pilots that have started. They've started something, and then they branched out on their own, starting something, and they have the capability of actually moving pie. I don't know. I haven't researched it enough. I know there's more. I'm gonna venture to guess there's more scams than there are legit locations. Okay? You just whatever if you're getting involved in anything pie outside of the app, you need to do your homework, you need to do your research. Otherwise, you're either going to lose your pie account, you're going to lose your pie, you're going to lose the time that you put in. Because if any trade happens for currency, no matter how it happens, if any transaction for pie and currency happens before phase 3, you're gone. You are gone. So, and that's been put out right from the beginning. People don't see it. I mean, they're still, I'm making a deal with some pie, we'll do this. Okay. If it happens, most likely, one side or the other will say something. And if the protocol, whatever, the security inside of Pi didn't pick you up, and if I pick you up, yeah. And what new pioneers don't realize, there are a lot of mods or mega mods that we don't just stay in Pi app. Trust me. And there are a lot of eyes that there are a lot of mods, a lot of eyes that just watch the chat. I know, because I get tagged every once in a while because I say something I shouldn't. They weren't in the room when I said it, but I got called on it afterward. So I know they're there. I do. Okay. And sometimes when rooms get bad, I'll be ready to either mute somebody or delete some, and they're already muted and deleted. There are eyes watching these chats. And if you're boasting or spouting that you did something that you shouldn't have done, you won't be here on the other side. You've already been put on all this. So, be careful of what you get into. There are good places, and there are a lot of scams. There are. Okay. So here we are. The buying power side, value side, community side. That is our job. That was our job, to build community, build economy. That was our job. And because of a couple of people, it changed. And this is my opinion. When the in-app transfer started in December 2019, there were 300 pilots that were chosen. And yes, getting it started was a little confusing, a little whatever. And okay, looking at it from outside, looking in to what was going on, it didn't look like it was really organized. And there were a lot of people that had differing opinions on how to get it going or whatever it is. Well, it only took 1 or 2 people, 3 people, to shut that pilot down, because they tried to turn their pie that they were given into cash when they couldn't. They signed an agreement saying, no, we won't do this, and they did it. And they, to me, my opinion, they screwed it for the rest of us. One bad apple in a bunch, man. And I think where the issue, and why I say this, is because I believe the in-app transfer pilot was supposed to scale as the community grew, and which to me makes perfect sense, because all right, it's not going to the exchange. So right now we can't even put it on exchange because we're still in development. Which, if say those 300 pilots would have gotten economy, started doing what they're doing and moving pie, okay? And part of it was, well, I can't supply because I can't recover, and I can't. Well, you put, and you were shut off by today's models. Okay? Yes, I understand. I do understand needing to be able to recover capital to replenish. Okay, but there's a different side to this too. Okay? Anybody starting up any kind of business on the outside, right in the world today. I'm gonna start up a contractor business. And maybe contractor business is the wrong way. 7-Eleven. Yeah, 7-Eleven. Quick Mart, whatever it is. That one probably be Quick Mart. Okay. Now I'm working off of whatever currency that I'm using with right now. And I'm going to open up a 7-Eleven. Well, I have to have initial venture capital to buy inventory, buy whatever. And not a small amount, okay? Not a small amount to get that venture capital going. Not a small amount of venture capital to get that operation going. Keep it going. Most businesses don't generate a profit for 3 to 5 years down the road. So, as I'm growing, as this business is growing, I'm just new to it, it's brand new, whatever it is, and the business has to start. I have no reputation. I have nothing to go on. The public has nothing to go on. Why would they? Why would they come in and shop at my store? Well, maybe I have a little lower gas prices. Things are a little cleaner. I have a little prices, and I start generating a clientele. Well, certain products are going to run out before other products are. And if I haven't covered the cost of this product, but I've sold this product, I still have to put my venture capital in. I still have to make the business go for, and I've already figured out what it's going to take. If we're going at this pace, I'm going to have to interject a little bit of capital in to get it growing, to grow my business, to get the clientele, to get the profit in return that I need, that I want, that I whatever. Well, that doesn't happen overnight. I don't care in any business that doesn't happen overnight. It can never happen overnight. Unless you're stepping into, and even at that, if you're stepping into a turnkey business ready to go, there's no guarantee that how you manage that business is going to survive. There's been profitable businesses that they were ready to get out or whatever it is, and they turned it over to somebody. And they came in, they didn't run it the same way, and it wasn't run the same, and they lost their clientele. So there's no guarantee that's going to happen. Well, Pi is a new currency, new community, okay? And I'm not saying I don't understand the need to, okay? But we do. And we will. But we got to get there. So the people right now that are taking the most risk are the ones supplying the goods and services. And services you're supplying a service to help the economy get going. But by providing a service, you're just putting it in your pocket. Okay? The ones supplying goods are the ones taking the biggest risk. I don't need to worry about their risk. They've already calculated their risk. They already know what it's going to take for them to make their business go. Whatever they're selling, whatever their product is, whatever it is, whether they're buying it from somebody else or supplying it to the community or whatever, they've already figured that out. Anybody opening a shop that's supplying goods to this community and doesn't have a mission statement, a financial plan, to go on into that business, you may not be in business real long. Okay, so they understand that they need to get Pi moving. We got to get the economy moving. The economy's not moving. It's not creating value. It's not stabilizing. It's not being trusted. It's not. All of that comes into play as we get the economy going. So, people supplying goods or don't worry about their risk. Don't need to worry about their risk. Don't need to worry about, okay? They already know the risk. And supplying 18 million people, that's a lot of products, man. That's a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying it's all going to be goods and services. That's what the DApps are also for. Whether they're, entertainment, online shopping, whatever is going to come out of these DApps. Okay? And there should be we need a lot of those DApps because that's what cements Pi together. That is, all the DApps being built off of Pi is the cement that holds all Pi together. Okay? The blockchain protocol and the protocol that Core has written, and I know there's a lot of phase 3. When we get to phase 3, and you haven't, and all your questions and hasn't been answered at phase 3, I will probably walk with you. Okay. We don't need to get in and know what Core's doing right now. That's on my left here. Okay. And I agree. When we get to phase 3, if it doesn't have certain stuff that it should have, I'll walk with you. I'll be the first one to walk with you. I'm not going to tear anything down. I'm just going to walk out. Okay. So, us buying whatever their goods are. And here's where value, before we get to a price or an amount, value, buying power value, is I have coins. I don't want to use, I have coins. We have coins. Regardless of what it is, we have coins. And the coins we have are the medium of exchange to buy goods and services. If we would have went the long way around the barn like we should have in the very beginning, we would be to this or close to this point right now. Is going through a barter system, we do all the trades and do all this stuff, and then you come up with some money that it has value, and you increase value. Okay, it's a long way around the barn. It really is. the system works when there is nothing else available. Which, anyway, but to be using something as the money, you can't use it you can't barter with it. It's not meant to barter with. It's meant to be given to get. Okay. The value that it has would have worked itself out through the barter system because, eggs and whatever there would have been a value to how many beaver pelts to how many of this, or how many of this to how many of that, or how much booze to how much of it. There would have been a value created that would have known it would have taken X amount of this to get X amount of that, and then when money does come in, because all money is a easy, lightweight, portable way to carry value to someplace else. That's what money is. That's what money was created for. If I'm selling sheep, and I got a herd of sheep that I need to get to market, I have to move them to the market. Or if people are coming to my place and buying sheep, they have to get the sheep from here to there. Okay? Well, and if we're bartering for something, he's bringing, when you start bushels of oranges or apples or wheat, grain, whatever, when you start moving that kind of quantity, and what you're getting in it is that same kind of quantity, it's just hard to do. It's just hard to do. So you come up with something, an easy form of payment, that, here's the deal. It's an easy form of payment that the community that's using it accepts it. The community that is using it. Okay? I know this is hard to grasp and fathom and whatever, because of the world we live in and how world economics works and all that. Okay, it isn't that I don't understand that, but North Korea is a good example, really. North Korea is a community. Don't think of it as a country. It's a community of X amount of millions of people that has their own currency. They do have their own currency that works inside their community. And don't get on. They use it. They use it. They believe it. They may not like it, but they use it, trust it, and shop owners and stuff are accepting it. Yeah, they're greedy and whatever. There's a lot of other stuff going on in play, but whatever they're using, that yen with whatever amount is printed on it, can be taken to any shop there and at least get whatever that is. Now you take their currency, their money, and you go outside of North Korea, their money is no good. It's like when Russia went bankrupt in the 80s. Other countries have gone bankrupt. What's going on down in South America right now. Okay. They're in North Korea. Their money is no good outside. It's only good inside. Pi. Pi is a brand new digital currency. We have to trust it, believe it, accept it, move it. Okay? No, it's got to be dictated. No, it doesn't have to be dictated outside. We are not there yet. We are not there yet. And here's where another misconception is, I think. Because if I'm opening a store, I'm looking at to recover, to resupply. Or somebody has a big amount, and they're going to come in and they're going to wipe this out, and they're going to do that. Man, you're overthinking and overcomplicating and making it overcomplicated. Okay? If you are a store owner and looking to supply goods, and you don't have the venture capital to keep that afloat for 3 to 5 years, then you're in the wrong business. You're looking at it from the wrong business. Okay? And if you're looking at it to make profit now, you're looking at it from the wrong way. I'm not saying that there's not going to be profit in pie. I'm not. All the stuff that everybody's expecting and wanting and what should happen in pie. If we start pie right. If we start pie wrong, okay, we will probably never recover what we've given up. Okay? So, when you come in, when you're supplying goods, for the time being, you need to be able to cover your shop. How can you come into pie and expect pie to cover all your shit right from the beginning? It's not. That is unrealistic. I don't care who you are. That is unrealistic. If you don't have enough venture capital, to start a store up out here, you don't have enough venture capital to start a store up in pie. You have to keep yourself afloat. Now, for me, the way I could see, if I were opening a store and if I had the means to do whatever, yeah, I'd have a dual port. Whatever I'm opening up in here, I'd have out here. Whether it's a restaurant, 7-Eleven, or whatever, that I have a positive cash flow between the two. That I have fake currency, whatever currency I need, wherever I'm at, I have a positive flow coming in. Because if I'm looking for pie to do it all from jump, I can't. There is no way I can do it ever. I don't care what you're selling, what you're doing, what you're getting. I don't care what the value of pie is. If you don't have enough to keep yourself afloat until it gets, because it's got to take time to get there. If you don't have enough to keep yourself afloat, then don't get into business. Don't get into that business. Provide a service. Provide something that you don't have to come up with extra cash to get the economy going. Yeah. Because pie is the money, starting at the ground level. So anybody that does and is able to open a store now and supply goods to the overall community will be the big players down the road. Same thing that happened. It's the same thing that happened hundreds of years ago. There was not a lot of money. There was not a lot of whatever back in the 1700s and stuff like that. But as these entrepreneurs and men of sight, okay, most of them started out broke. Started with one, started with this, started with that. Then they got into the whole greed thing and whatever. But they are the wealth. They are the old money. It started back there. Started the same with pie. Okay? So pie is the means of exchange to trade for goods and services. Now, where part of it is, all right, if I'm taking a coin into a shop and whatever I'm getting, it doesn't matter what it is, but this coin was able to buy this amount of stuff. Now, I think here's part of where the perception might be off. When that store owner accepted that pie, or accepted that coin, now if he can take that coin to another shop where he needs something, it doesn't matter what it is, if he needs something, he can take that coin to that shop and get the same amount of stuff for that same amount of value. That's value. That is value. That is buying power value. Then that guy from that shop or girl from that shop can use that same coin and go someplace else and spend it to get the same amount for the same value. And then they can go somewhere else and they can go somewhere else. And it's all changing hands and moving. But it all carries the same value no matter where we go. And no matter where we go in the world. Mm-hmm. That's setting value. That's accepting value. That's us believing in the value. Us trading in the value. Us making the value what it is. I don't care about them out there. I don't care what they do. They do whatever. Doesn't matter. It's what. It's no different than the fake currency we use now. It's not backed by anything. We trust it because the government says we should trust it. We've lost buying power since the 60s. But we still trust it and use it because we are told that the government, no matter what government, even they are using money that the government told them they will back. Yes, now I know there's a world economy. I'm not worried about the world economics and all that. No, okay. It isn't that I thought. They're not in play yet. Okay. So, if the government is telling us that the piece of paper is worth, I think I read somewhere it's like $2 to create a printed piece of paper. Well, that printed piece of paper is worth more than that $2. Why? Because they say it is. All the people crunching the numbers, doing this and doing that and whatever it is, they are telling us that this is what this is worth. They are telling us this is what we can buy with, what we can buy with it. They are dictating what we do. I know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have a clue. I don't know. I don't know what's. I don't know. I'm not in touch with reality. I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know back in the 60s when I was a little kid, you buy a loaf of bread for a nickel. You buy a pack of cigarettes for 25 cents. Gasoline was 25 cents. And anything, I could take a quarter into the candy store and load my pockets up for a quarter. Didn't matter what town I was in, where I went, whatever it is. I could still take that same quarter. I went with some friends. I went to his grandparents' house in Pennsylvania. I was born in Ohio. I went to him with him on vacation to Pennsylvania. And I could get the same pocket full of candy in Pennsylvania that I could in Ohio. Okay? Today I walk into anywhere and it's a $100 bill, and I come out with half of what, I come out with nothing for a $100 bill. We lost buying power. Yeah. And overtax and whatever. But looking at gas in someplace, gas is up to almost $5 a gallon. We're losing buying power. So, the people over here, they're the ones devaluing our money. But we trust it because they're telling us that that's to use it. We've been conditioned to use it and conditioned not to question what's going on. Yeah, we see them printing trillions more. We know they're printing trillions more. We know that the dollar is devaluing and it's inflating, and we got, okay? And we're still trusting, them. And we want to take this and put this in that system. This should help us get out of that system. Yes, everything is pegged to the dollar, and it's looked at the dollar, and it's looked at whatever. But that's what we have to use. That is what's being used to calculate prices, and whatever it is being done in that with that currency. Okay? So, because it's a reserve currency, that value is accepted around the world. Okay, if it's a dollar here, it's a dollar there, whatever. Okay, so, all right. If we've lost value in our money, and it takes more money to buy the same thing, they have to print more money, so we have that stack of money to go buy that thing. Okay? And I know it's just easy because it's quick off the top of my head. when I was growing up, was getting of age or whatever, I was paying $5 a carton for cigarettes. $5 a carton. I'm paying $65 a carton today. And if I get out of California, I can get it to about 40. When I had, back then, growing up, I think my first job was like $2.35. $3.15 or something. With that income and what I had, I lived better then than I do with a $70,000 job. Right? I had a job worth $70,000. I was making $70,000. I lived better then than I did then. Yeah. Because I had more buying power. I actually had more strength. We had more. And over time, we have given up that buying power. And that wealth has moved up. We're paying more for what we need, and they're getting richer off of what we're paying more for. If you don't think that's not happening, okay? So, but they're telling us this is the only option of money that we have to use. It is the only option. There is no other option for us to use other than what we already have. Gold, silver, stones. When all of that's collapsed, when all of this collapses and finally comes down, yes, then we'll probably go back to gold and silver and all that stuff. But right now, this is the only option. Pie. And I know there's a lot of about how to value pie and how to do whatever. The bottom line, it's my opinion, but it's the bottom line, is what in the community, whoever has the least amount of pie, which would be a new pioneer signing up right now. And I'm talking 20, 30, 40,000 of new people signing up right now. They get one pie for joining. They need to be able to take that one pie. Now I'm talking phase 3, because we can't do anything yet. In phase 3, when we can actually buy stuff and move stuff and do stuff around, this is what we're starting here. When that one or those 20, 30,000 people come in, they have one pie. They need to be able to use that one pie to buy something they need. Not want. Because you don't know where these 20 or 30,000 people are coming from. If these 20 or 30,000 people, depending on the day or night, are coming from a third world developing country, they need to get value for that $1. Yes, $1 will okay. They need to be able to use that one, or that one coin, to be able to raise their standard of living, raise their family's standard of living on one. So you can't think about developed countries and how we live and how we do and whatever. Pie is not built for us. It is, because it will give us a different standard of living. It will give us a different freedom. It will give us it would just give us a lot of different. It will substantially give different. Yes. There's no reason they shouldn't be at the same standard of living we are. I am. None. Yes, now, are there going to be other issues? Yes, there's bigger issues, whatever. So, if looking at somebody coming in, being able to use one pie, where is that value going to be? I know for me where it should be. I believe it should be. Most are in disagreement and whatever, because if you're looking below $10, if you're looking below $20 per pie, you're not seeing pie, because it's going to have to be a minimum there to be able for it to move. And if you have it valued that low, and that one pie, you wipe it out at one transaction, that's borderline. Because he can't, until it rolls around next day, they don't have what they need. They don't have the money they need to get what they need to survive another day. So, I am for the $100. $100 buying power in that fruit pie. One pie can buy what people need to survive for a week, a month. They can feed their village for a week or a month on one. And still have fractions left that they're not dead broke, totally broke. Nobody likes to be broke. When you have excess income, then you can get what you want. Then you can save and get what you want. But you have to supply basic needs. 236 countries around the world, 18 plus million people. We are not all in third world countries. I would imagine the majority of pie is probably in second and third world countries. That's what pie is about. It's about us, that's what pie is about. And it's not about us taking everything from everybody else. We will have enough of our own. We will have enough of our own. I have no problem sharing. I don't. Okay? As long as they have enough of their own, I have enough of my own, I'm happy. Okay? So, at $100 a pie, people will be willing to use and spend pie. They will be willing to buy stuff with pie. Okay? It's not cash value. There's no exchanges. We haven't gotten there yet. Just inside the pie. That's how the economy gets going. That's how things get moving. Once that is moving, and all right, you're gonna tell me that you're a liar. Okay. Now you start looking at stacks, and you put, well, this is $100 and this is $10. Okay. Now, if pie were valued at $1, I wouldn't spend my pie. I'm using too much pie to get something that I know that I can take a fraction of to get. I'm not going to use it. There's no reason for me to use it. Why do I want to give somebody else my pie? Because it's valued so low that when it does start to increase in value, what I've had to give to that person, he's got my money. And I've freely given it to him. Because it's this low. No, I won't spend it. I won't. And neither will people that have smaller stacks. They won't spend it. They won't use it. Then there's no. If people aren't spending and using and wanting to spend and use, there is no economy. And if there is no economy, there is no community. If there is no community, there is no. Pack it up. Let's go look for another project. Okay. It has to be wanted to be used. When it's wanted to be used, it's trusted to be used. And it isn't up to us. We're the ones supplying. The people that are risking to supply goods and people supplying services are the ones, between the new people coming in and the ones that are accepting it, are setting pie value. If a store owner, if a shop owner, okay, is willing to, because if he is willing to accept pie at $100 per pie, why would I pass that up? He knows the risk. He's taking it. He's managed. He knows, and he's willing, because he sees what pie means. And if you have all of these shops, I don't care where you're at around the world. Okay? If, yes, this economy is sorted, if that's where I'm getting my value, that's where I'm going shopping. We do it today. We go to box stores. I'm talking second world cup. We go to box stores. We go to where we find the best deal. That's where we go. Even online, we surf online to find the best deal, and that's where we shop. It's no different. It's no different. If you have an economy over here, $10, and you have one over here at $100, okay, Now, can they supply everybody? No, probably not. But I'm going to where I'm getting the best value. I'm going to where I get the service. That's how, well, it's a whole lot easier because core can't have anything to do with setting price, value, whatever. It's all in the community. If we want to go the long way around the barn, we can go the long way around the barn. People are going to lose a lot of money, a lot of pie, a lot of whatever, and it's going to take us to get to the same point that we are right now. It will. It will. We will get here. Just depends on how long you want to take. We shouldn't take long at all. We should already be trading stuff. Okay. So, if they're willing to accept it, why are we doubting? If they're willing to accept it, why are we doubting that they're willing to accept it? They told me that they'll accept it at that price. All right, I believe you and I trust you. I'm gonna spend it. And if I make the transaction and they did it at that price, yeah, I'll come back. Yeah, that's acceptance. Okay. That's how trust, usability, stability, all that comes into play. And if we have 18 million people around the world, stretching around the world, just looking to be inside the community, that economy will get strong. How's it supported? How do you do? Okay. We don't have to worry about it, actually, because it's already done. Our job is the economy and community. That is our job. Anything else after that is not, we don't have to worry about it. It's already done. Once it goes phase 3, yes, it'll be open source. You can go in and look at it, and you can do whatever you want to do and whatever it is. And if there's issues there, then you can, whatever. Okay? Not until phase 3. Because what Core is building, they understand what they're building. They know what they're building. They don't, if they were wanting our help to build it, they would be asking us for our help to build it, and they're not. Because that is the foundation. And if that foundation in Pi isn't solid and strong enough to start the formation of the community and whatever, it won't survive. And I only say that, and I'm not trying to belittle or put anybody down or whatever. I say that because people are complaining about not being open source and not being able to get a hold of the code, and not being able to see this, and not being able, they're not transparent, and you're not able to see what Core is doing. And yes, there's a reason. There's a reason. Because from what I've seen, the debates that I've been in, the discussions I've been in, and the discussions and debates that I still get into today, if you're not seeing what's being built, you're not going to be contributing in the way that needs to be contributed to build it. No, you're not. Because you're seeing what you think, what you believe. This is the direction it should go. And most are steering to the wrong direction. If I'm looking to go north, and I'm trying to steer this thing north, and you're telling me I need to go south, and you're trying to turn me to go south? No, because we're supposed to be going north. And if I let you in, and this is just my own analogy, my own how I see it. And if I let you in, which the community is bigger than the core team, you're going to put a round peg in a square hole, and we're going to be going south. And we're going to end up out here. If we end up out here, shame on you. Shame on you. Yes. Because you blew it twice. You blew it twice. Because if we go north, we build our economy, our community, our whatever it is. Okay? The foundation is solid. The community is solid. Then we bring in the dApps that other builders can build on our stuff. We already have a jump over Ethereum and everything else is out there. We already have a jump over it. If you see it, if we step up and pull our ass out of the fire and do our job, yeah, because Now, we're not live yet. We're here. This is where we make our mistakes. This is where we do our stuff, and we're doing it pretty well. We get it right. I mean, we get it all right. We get to here. We launch phase 3. We have our own ticket, man. Because here's the biggest deal. If we're moving and buying and selling whatever inside pie, and people that are looking to dump for pennies because they can go get something for pennies, they can already get something here. They don't need to go there. They don't need to go to the exchange. Okay, and here's where a lot of people miss it too. Okay, they don't need to exchange it to buy it and go buy it and buy it. They can buy it direct from here. Well, what about shipping? What about shipping? Don't put the horse before the cart. Not saying that there aren't issues to be worked out, but most of the time when we buy online now, shipping is on the buyer. Yes, there are a lot of places that offer free shipping, but the majority of places, shipping is on the buyer. Well, I can't pay for it in pie. I can't pay for it in pie. So, pay for it in cash. You got a card? Okay? Well, Pie's got to pay. No. Pie is not looking to pick up the whole thing. Now, down the road, may it be able to? Yeah, maybe. Right now, no, it can only... Well, and here's where the thing is. All right. If I want that, and I have to pay for the shipping, which a lot of people do now, I'll pay for the shipping. I mean, the way I see it, if I were able to buy that item for something, I didn't have to pull my cash that I'm earning out here. I didn't have to pull it out here to buy that and the shipping. Okay. Well, I just saved X amount that I've got out here. Using this over here. And if I'm using, I have an income plan, and I'm using it, and I'm able, okay. And I'm not using my cash out here. Am I making money? Am I making money? Yeah, I'm not making it off the exchange. I'm not making it in trading and doing deals. I'm making it by being able to buy what I need and what I want. Because if I don't have to take X amount of dollars out of here, and I have pie, and I only use an X amount of pie to get it, I've saved that. If I've saved that money and used another money to buy it, then I made money. I made that $50 that I didn't spend it here, that I didn't have to pull out of here to spend. Okay? What difference does it make how you make the money? You can only make money if you take it from here and do it on the exchange, and the exchange gives you something that they tell you that we're supposed to use. That's making money, generating wealth, trading. If I'm using something here, and I'm buying this over here, and I'm taking what I would have used and putting it over here, I've cut out all the middlemen, and I've made money because I didn't have that money to start with. I mean, the box was empty. I didn't have that money in the box to begin with, and I'm still in the same financial situation that I was before. Okay? If I'm using money in here, taking this money and putting it aside, I'm making money. Yes, it's not the way you traditionally and think about making money, but I also haven't had to go to an exchange, go through the hassle of the exchange, pay for using their service. They're not doing their service for free. Pay for using their service, and then getting the cash and going and getting to me that sounds like a whole lot of work for something I can do real. Okay, that's how easy it is. Serious, that's how easy. So if the economy is moving and going, people at the ground level that have opened up shops and are doing business as things grow, expand, word of mouth, their business grows, their whatever, they're going to do whatever. They will be the ones bringing in the income down the road. And by us using another means of exchange, we just created another currency. We just created another option and another choice. It's the same thing. When we go buy face, there's no place to shut it down. There's nobody dragging the court. So it will be what Bitcoin. That's the only reason Bitcoin's still running, because they can't shut it down. They can't drag anybody into court. Okay. Pi will be. It is. And I hear people talking about the investors lining up, and they want to invest, and they want to do this, and they want to, that they're already there. That's the demand. We take Pi live, and that demand is there because there's still no crypto on the exchanges until we put it there. And if the demand is there, and there's no supply, and the demand is there. Think about it. Doesn't matter how big the supply and stuff is, because that's not where we already established value. We are using it. We're trusting it. We're believing it. It's stable and it's usable and it's moving, and it needs to move hard, fast. Okay. That's the product. That's what we're selling. That's what we're open public. You got these investors that want to get in and invest in Pi. No, they can't invest in Pi. They can only invest in the exchanges. There is no way for them to invest in Pi. There is no avenue for them to invest in Pi. They can only invest in the exchanges. Keeps Pi ours. Keeps Pi us. Keeps Pi what it should be. Well, if you have investors, if you have people seeing this happening and going on and doing whatever, different, new, better, because it solves a lot of problems that we're having today. It solves a lot of problems that we are having today. We have a product and it's solving a product, and these guys want to get in. What happens when you take a kid into a grocery store or a candy store and he doesn't get a candy bar that he wants? What happens? What happens? Oh, he's just a golden angel and doesn't say anything, whatever, and he wants that candy bar. He's going to throw a fit right in the middle of that store. I've seen it happen, and I wanted to slap the kid. I want to slap the parents. Okay? He's going to throw a fit in the middle when they don't get something they want right now. You think these investors are any different? You have somebody that has $1 billion, $1 billion that wants to invest, and you tell them, no, we don't need to. Sorry, there is no investment. There is no investment. People don't say that to people like that. Tell me anybody in the world that's ever said, if Musk or Gates or J.P. Morgan or Carnegie or any of those, Rockefeller and all of them, they don't get said no to. They don't get said no to. There is no investment. If there's nothing they can invest in. You don't think they're going to throw a fit? I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't have a clue. If there is nothing there and they want it, they will demand it. And when they demand it, we are in control of it. When they demand it, we are in control of it. Because when somebody's demanding, making threats, whatever, you hold the power. We hold the power. We hold the keys. They're pissed because they don't get the keys. I know I might be out there a little way on this one, whatever it is. Everybody now puts so much stock in what these guys say. Look at all of the Pi videos. They have Elon Musk on them. They have Jeff Bezos. They have Bill Gates on unofficial unofficial pie sites to draw people in. Because when these men speak, or when these men take action, or when these men do something, it's like E.F. Hutton, man. When E.F. Hutton speaks, everybody listens. Why? Why? I understand. I don't give a shit what they do. I don't know them. They have no influence on my life. Well, they do, and it may not always be good, but I have no choice in it. They put their pants on the same way I do in the morning. They stand up to pee. They're men. That's all they are. They're men. I respect them for what they've done and what they've accomplished. But I don't respect them for the direction they've taken things and what they've made things become and how they've kept this perpetuated. Yeah, I don't. No, because they're part of the gap. They're getting bigger. That gap is getting bigger, folks. And they're part of it. They're part of it. They're controlling it. These men don't get to say no. They don't get said no to. Core with pie. Give us that opportunity to say no. Or not saying no. You know what I mean? If they're demanding it, we're in a position to negotiate. When somebody is demanding and wanting something from you, from us, we are in a position to negotiate. That's what these guys do to these small companies and stuff all the time. They come in, they intimidate, they do whatever, and they negotiate. Okay? We are in a position to negotiate. We get into a position to negotiate. We are in the position to be not to be told by the exchange what pie is going to be. We already said a value. Value is what value is. If you want to buy, this is what you buy at. For them to buy it has to go through the exchange. For it to go through the exchange, we're not looking for. If you want to buy it, but it's got to happen through the exchange. The exchange will list it on our terms. On our terms. It's all about. It's all about. Man, I went way over on this one. Man, there's so much information that to understand. If you don't think that it can happen, sorry. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've asked people, man, do I need a reality check? Do I need whatever? Because it's not, the round peg is not fitting in the square hole. That's why it's not making sense. That's why it's not, because guess what? That round peg sits in its own hole, man. It sits in its own hole. And it's not Pie's looking to bring some freedom back to us, some whatever back to us. But it's looking to be part of and coexist with. We can coexist in the same system. But we don't have to be dictated to or demanded to by central bank. There's going to be legal whatever it is. But if you take a community of this size, okay, yes, in 100 million is small or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, but you take a system of 50 million people. So you don't think that'll get noticed? And has their own currency. Yes, it's valued by the dollar because that is the reserve currency. That is what things are pegged to. That's how we put it together. What happens if the dollar collapses and the Chinese yen takes over? Then pie will be worth Chinese yen. Whatever it is. here's what really sent it home for me. Okay, this is all up, running, moving, going. We're doing it, and it has it, and we have a solid value, whatever it is. I mean, I know we have a solid value, whatever it is, except trust, whatever. And let's say the monetary system crashes. The dollar, the Feds have finally blew it up, and the dollar is no good. The United States is bankrupt. The dollar is no good. Worthless. Fire starter. There's nothing in the world. There's not an amount of that can be taken anywhere in the world and get anything for it. The dollar's no good. The dollar's no good. Okay? And they won't let it happen. They won't happen. Okay, whatever. This is what if, because it's a possibility. The United States has been running the biggest Ponzi scam there has since they've created money. Ponzi schemes run out. Ponzi schemes get to a point to where you can't expand the bottom anymore. That's where the United States is at. And we're paying for it because it's created on debt. They create debt. We have to carry that's a whole different issue. Yeah. So the dollar crashes. Everything else around the world is pegged to the dollar. So everything else around the world is going to crash at the same time. There will be no money. Worst case scenario, there will be no money. Yes, we're going back to gold, silver. It'll be going back to tangible, intrinsic things. Gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, booze, vegetables, whatever we have to use to trade to get what we need. What will happen? I mean, if it were to crash, that's what would happen. If Pi is up and running and we have a trustable, stable going on with our currency, with our money, yes. Will it become tougher because we can't get goods from the outside? But we have it. We have a usable currency, tradable currency. You think that over his mind? If inside the community we have it valued at X amount of whatever it is, and the dollar were to crash, and people outside here have no money. I mean, it's probably they got themselves, whatever it is. But as things get tougher and go whatever, they start running low on whatever, and our currency's still trading. That means if they can get a hold of it, they have buying power. That's what value is, buying power. Yeah, buying power. And if you don't think in a situation like that, if you have something that is being used as money, the currency, okay, that you won't start picking up vendors or whoever, because they're still looking to do whatever. Yeah. And I know but that's where Pi can live. That's where Pi can go. That is Pi. So, man, this one's long again. So I got it. But you need to see it. You need to understand it. Take the blinders off and just look. I know it doesn't matter to me whether you believe me or don't believe me, or don't care what I say or whatever. To me, it doesn't matter because I see what it should be, where it should go. And if it doesn't get there and it gets stuck in here, I know where it happened, why it happened. Okay? So, anyway, let's keep the round peg out of the square hole and build Pi what it should be. Not what we think it should be, what it should be. And I think that's where a big part of the issue is. Because we think it should be something else. And it shouldn't. It really, honest, true, it shouldn't. We need to put down what we think it needs to be. Ego, pride, learning, whatever it is. At least see Pi. See what it is. See where it wants to go. Understand the direction it wants to go. Once you know, or once you see, or once you believe that is what it's supposed to be, then our thinking changes on what it needs to take to get it there. It just happens. Because right now, we're focusing on this, and this is how it goes, and this is how it works in this world, and this is how it needs to fit in today. Instead of, this is how it'll be part of tomorrow. Okay, that's yeah. And once I'm telling you, once you see it, understand it, and belief and trust and all is all. That's all. I mean, that's. But if you don't second guess and you don't put your own interjection into it and whatever, see it for what it is. Yeah, pie can do some pretty amazing things for us if we allow it. Pretty amazing things. Cutting us loose from central bank, cutting us loose from a dictated used currency. I say dictated because we have no choice. That is what we have to use to get. I'm saying we're out of that system. But if somebody can't go, this is what you have to use. No, I got this to use. I don't really need what you have. I mean, there is, because there's certain things that, I mean, there's things that are up, and I know, but when you start to have control and say, no, I don't need that, I have this, that brings, that levels the world and brings it back to us. Yeah, because when somebody can't, when you have the power to say, if somebody comes up and says, no, you're going to do it this way, and you have the power to say, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way. I don't need to do it that way. And not being afraid of walking away from the situation, because, I mean, the way I was brought up, you know, you went to school, you got a job, you raised a family, you did whatever. You didn't walk away from the job once you had a job. I don't care how bad the job got. If you were making good money to support your family and your life and your house and all your stuff and whatever it is, you didn't walk away from that job. You didn't tell your boss no. You stuck it out until whenever. I mean, that was the philosophy back then. Yeah, 60s came along, smoking dope and free love and all this, and I was just at the beginning of that. Okay, but that is, I brought, man, you go to work, you support your family, you do your thing, and okay. I'm pretty stubborn, pretty bullheaded, and pretty whatever. And when I thought I was going to lose my job, I was afraid of losing my job. I really was. I mean, because of how I thought. But in the position today, or where we could be, nobody has to be. Nobody has to be free. And then that opens up different freedoms. That opens up different choices. That opens up, because for me, when all the jobs that I've had over my lifetime, and I've had a few of them, I can only remember like maybe one or two that I did because I enjoyed doing I enjoyed what I was doing. The rest of them were all, I never liked being in them jobs. I hated them jobs. Didn't like going. I learned a lot from them, but those weren't my first choices. But I couldn't afford to do my first choices to live in how we live today. So, anyway, they're just bits and pieces, and I know I talk along, but that's me, guys. That's me. Watch it in sections. Once I can get to a point to where I can start editing, cutting them down, and putting in all, we'll get there. We'll get there. For what it is right now, it is what it is. So, all right, guys, I'm out.